Good morning, guys. Beautiful foggy morning out this morning. So nice and cool. This is actually the same kind of weather I wake up to when I go up to the mountains for my motorcycle trips. This is really nice. This is a beautiful morning. I'm only up this early. I've only been to bed like 3 hours because the wife called and woke me up again. Every time she does that, I think she's in another freaking accident because nobody calls at the weird hours like that unless there's something wrong. And this time it was she forgot her purse and had to have it for something today. I don't remember, but I gotta deliver her purse up to her school at 8:30 this morning, so she has it. So getting up now, it's like 7 something, 7:01. Anyway, I had a thought last night. You ever have those ideas in the shower? I usually get them during my brief sleeps. And it was about the Wi-Fi of the garage door opener and how so many things were wrong. I mean, just plain flat out wrong in the manual about procedures and operations. And I'm thinking, I've got that Wi-Fi relay. What if it's not optional? What if, like the wireless keypad module that was sitting in there, it's actually required? So I opened it up, lo and behold, I have the best home Wi-Fi you can get, pretty much. I certainly don't need a relay hub. But looky here. The way the Ryobi garage door opener accessory system app interacts with your garage door opener has changed. Now to control your garage door from your smartphone, you will need to install the Wi-Fi connectivity system. This is not just a relay hub. This is now how it connects, period. Unfreaking believable. At the very least, if they're gonna do this kind of crap, put some huge warning on the sticker. Required. Something. Anyway, let's get it installed. Well, even after all that, I doubt it's going to work. Reading through the instructions in this addendum, it still basically says set up the door according to the manual, which it fails on. So I'm not even getting past this part of the first step. I'm not even sure what the hell this thing is doing. It's got a separate sensor just to see if the door is down. So apparently the whole thing is broken and it doesn't know without this if the door's down now. That doesn't make any sense. It's just an optical sensor and they're showing to install it up here in the corner of the door. Maybe it reads the top of the opener or something? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then this, they have just plugging into the wall as a literal hub. I guess I'll just plug everything in and see what happens, but according to this checklist, I can't get there because it wants you to download the app and connect the garage door to your home network in the app, and that's exactly the point where it fails. As soon as it connects, it tries to auto-update the firmware, and that's when it reboots. It says after the connection is established, you'll be able to monitor the connection accessories from your phone. Well, yeah, duh. That's why I shouldn't need any of this stuff to do it, and that's what I can't do. Then it goes into installing this and that, and then linking the sensor and hub. So these two talk to each other. I mean, it looks like all this is to fix a problem with it knowing if the door is shut. It doesn't look like this has much to do with connectivity to your Wi-Fi. If it wants you to do all the connectivity before you even plug them in. Really, really bad instructions, man. All right, we might be getting somewhere. I'm still stuck, but we got a little bit further. What I did is I kind of skipped ahead in the instructions. I did the setup and install of the Wi-Fi modules, and I confirmed they are Bluetooth devices to each other. This is the door sensor installed where they want it. Luckily, I had a bracket on the door there with lots of holes, so I didn't have to poke a hole through the garage door. That's screwed in. And then the hub, you just have to plug directly into an outlet. And it's not connected via Wi-Fi yet to the network. That's what the flashing light is. But the blue one is Bluetooth, where it pairs to the sensor, and that successfully paired. Now, when I tried to connect this into the network, it still failed, but it didn't fail after updating firmware. It went to one more screen. It said, let's rename it. And then it skipped a bunch of screens and it started talking about these sensors, and then it locked up. But when I came back to the home screen, it still says disconnected, you know, it's half-ass installed. But now I've got a bunch of options and it shows me the status of all the modules that I got plugged in. So it's seeing something. And now the Wi-Fi button is glowing instead of blinking. So getting there, I'm gonna restart it and go through the whole thing again, see what happens. Okay, even closer. I have everything working except it doesn't know when the door is open or shut. It's stuck on thinking it's shut. I can't get the sensor to be added into the system. It fails updating the MAC address, adding it to the door opener every single time. I'm gonna clear everything completely again. I'm gonna see if there's some kind of factory reset that I'm missing, but it's just failing on that. Surprisingly, the app works beautifully, at least on my phone. I'm on iOS 12 on an iPhone 10, and except for that status, the thing is awesome. I don't know what some of these people are complaining about unless there's something, again, that I'm missing. Maybe it broke people that already had it installed. I don't know, but there are a ton of unhappy people right now in the review section. Anyway, the app itself gives you some additional features. Like I said, it does work completely out of the box, but the app gives you a lot of things to tweak. For example, it gives you fingertip control of the fan, so you don't have to go to the switch. Kind of nice there. It lets you tell the app what ports everything is plugged into. I don't know exactly what it's going to do with that information, but it's in there. Let's see. The light, you can change the duration for how long it stays on after activation. You can't, unfortunately, turn off the motion sensor. That's a motion sensitive light. It's just like a security light just sitting there. It has nothing to do with the door opening or closing. It's kind of cool because it's working exactly like this little one I have above the door. So as soon as I open that door, I don't even have to come into the garage. The light turns on. It's really sensitive and I like it. But I know some people are going to want to turn that off. And when I get the other LEDs in here, it's not going to be doing anything. So it's going to be constantly on if I'm working in the garage for no reason. So I would like to be able to turn that motion sensor completely off, but there is nothing in there, at least in this version of the app, for that. But you can change the duration from 1 minute through several. So that's there. What else? There was something else. Oh, it has a preset door up feature. So say if you have pets or you just want to vent the garage, you can set different heights and there's a preset button so you can raise the door anytime to that level. A couple other things like that in there. But right now, I really want to get this sensor thing fixed so I can actually use it. It'll be really nice once I actually have the app. Now, I did look into further look into, sorry, coffee's not flowing yet, getting it into the smart home. And there is a guy, much like other things, that wrote custom code for the previous version, the GDO 200. This is the 201, the new version. And they do use totally separate communications protocols and calls and everything. So they did kind of update the program he wrote for this. However, in order to get it working with your Samsung SmartThings, you not only have to do all the custom code and all that kind of stuff, that's not a huge deal, but you have to be running a separate computer, like a Raspberry Pi, just to run a server, just to talk to this in between this and the Samsung's thing. So you've got to run a server just to intercept communications, just to go to your hub, just to go to your smart home. And even that, people are
every couple months saying, you know, it broke, this thing needs to be updated, and it's all dependent on one guy. So that's janky. I mean, it's cool that he did it and everything, but that's too janky to depend on, you know what I mean? So I'll depend on the app to actually work if I can get this thing running. But right now I gotta go deliver the wife's purse. Got it. Have to say, I'm pretty happy now with this whole system. A complete blank out and start over did the trick. You have to hold down the Bluetooth pairing button on the relay hub for 10 seconds for it to clear out all connections. I then removed everything in the app, closed everything, restarted from scratch, even starting this over, adding this completely fresh from the network. Unfortunately, if any of it fails, you do have to do this because it's all in one wizard setup. There is no way, once this is added into the app, to go in and do any of the setup for the hub or the door sensor. You have to remove it, and then I strongly suggest you clear everything out before you start again. This time, it all went through all the way. It found the sensor this time. It just has you calibrate it, you open the door, tell it it's open, close the door, tell it it's closed, boom. Now, in the app, it shows when it's open and closed, and everything else is still working very well. The other features that are in the app are pretty cool. It can give you notifications to your phone if the door is opened or if the door is closed. You can set certain times of the day to get those notifications. You know, say when you're away from home, if you're at work, you want some notifications that, hey, your door just went up, but not when you're home. Maybe you've got kids, whatever. You can set it to let you know if it's been open past a certain time of day, like you've left it open at night. You can set it to notify you if it's been open for more than a certain period of time, like an hour, and you know, you realized you forgot to close the door. All kinds of cool stuff like that, and it's working. So I got no complaints. It does have the ability to add an email address for somebody else, which I'll send to the wife, and it sends them an invite. They can download the app, and then basically their access is added into the main account, which is mine for the device, and then they can use their app as well to control it, just like me. So you don't have to set up multiple people going through this whole thing or even have multiple accounts for the Ryobi app, just one. I guess I'm done with the garage door. There's, like I said, no great integration to the smart home, but at least we're back where we were at the old house. We now have a working app on their phone to see the status and control the door and control all the devices. So happy enough. All right, the wife's got her freaking purse. I told her she needs to be getting up 10 minutes earlier. Every other morning, she's rushing for this, rushing for that. I'm gonna be late, I can't take the dog out. Can you take the dog out? Just change your schedule, man. Get your shit together. You're in your late 30s. We're not 20, 21 doing that. Oh, I'm just out finally living on my own crap. Let's figure out how to get to work on time. So let's see what kind of range we get with the new opener here. Pressing it now. We're 3-4 houses away. No, let's try 3. No. 2. No. 1. All right, so we get 1 house away. That'll work. All right, it's about 3 o'clock. Took most of the day off to, well, not off of the house stuff to catch up on actual work stuff. I also trimmed up these 2 trees out here, got them back shaped. A lot of stuff to bag up, chop up. Made more debris than I thought it would, but they look a lot better now. Now I'm not going to scrape my face when I mow, and they're not growing out of control. Snipped off a couple extra branches that were growing up straight. That's Spanish moss for you up north guys. It just kind of grows like a stalactite and a stalagmite. Looks kind of cool. Also got the new handles in
for the doors here, so I'm going to swap over all the hardware. This should be a direct match. I believe I got the same brand, and that will fix my doors. See here, during the day when it's hot, it actually sticks, stays shut, but at night flops around, and it even trips my security light over on this side. Let's get these on. So the wife likes the vacuum, the Shark Rocket. They got all different kinds. This is the cheapest model. It's the 300, and you'll find it at Walmart. They also have a 301. It's red. Walmart online sells it, and you can get it at Target. It's like another 40 bucks. And the difference are, there's also a 2, 3, 4, and 5. Difference is the bundle of accessories you get. We just needed the basics, but you can get it with all kinds of cords and height adapters, extenders, and all that kind of stuff. But we just needed the basic, and you can also just detach the end here, and it's just a handheld. So this is like a built-in extension tube. It is a corded vacuum. It's not cordless. I frankly don't like cordless for real vacuuming. We got this just for general house vacuuming and the rugs. That little actual cordless handheld one we have is great for little stuff, but we did the whole house with it. It actually took 2 charges. We swept, mopped, and used that, and it's just, you know, a pain in the ass being down on the ground, whereas this thing's really easy. So I'm just going to, after we get done with those latches, do the wall mount, probably somewhere out in the garage, because it's made to hang. It's not a rigid upright. It's really lightweight, and we'll get that done. I have to get my cordless drill again. I'll show you how sensitive the motion detector is on the garage door light. Just stepping in here. Look at that. Pretty cool. So it definitely works. Oh, there's my coffee mug. Definitely works as a general garage light. Don't even have to hit the switch. That's definitely going to be a plus for some people. Man, I'll tell you what a pain in the ass setup though. That is definitely not going to be for some people. Well, it's not quite the same dimensions. It's close enough, I think. This barely works, but it's in the right position. That's the important part. Barely works out here. You can see it's like it's for slightly different depth door. The button only pushes in a little bit, but it functions, so good enough. This I'm going to try flipping around. It's off by like a millimeter. I can't shift it anymore that way because the screw holes are just out of room. So I'm going to try flipping it around. This will move it closer here. Might not hit quite flush on the frame, but that's okay as long as it latches. I think I'm going to replace this gas strut next. I notice it's got quite a bend in here. There's no way you can really fix that. You can pound it, but it's going to damage internal seals. And it doesn't have much resistance right now anyway. It floats and then slowly comes and then slams. So it's really loud at night. I have to manually shut it so I don't wake up the neighbors. And I know they can be better than that. All right, let's try flipping this guy. And of course, the holes have been used too much and now they're stripped out. So we're just spinning. Time to make new ones. Perfect. Next. Aha. You can trim this new actuation rod or plunger or whatever to length, and this is going to affect your clearance between your handle and the button. So I'm going to shave off just, I don't know, 5 millimeters or so, and that'll give me just enough clearance. That's 2 done. Perfect. So let me give you the basics and the rundown, what I like and don't like so far about Bluetooth speakers working in the Alexa ecosystem. I'm happy with some of it, and there's some of it that makes it almost unusable. And certainly other people will agree with me when you see what I'm talking about. So this is a regular Bluetooth speaker. It has a microphone like many of them, and it's basically just a portable, battery-operated, rechargeable speaker. So it's made to pair to whatever you want. Most people pair them to their phones or their tablets, and you can increase the sound quality of something like a tablet, or you can take it with you and put it in another room, you know.
Nothing special about it. Now, most of them have microphones, and they work both ways with your phone if you want to receive or make calls. Usually just receive, but sometimes you can use voice commands with some of them. Anyway, that's one minor missing feature. The microphone does not work with Alexa. So you cannot use a Bluetooth speaker as an extension of whatever your Echo device is. So you can't say to the speaker, Alexa, and give it a command. I'm out here right now so she can't hear me, because it would be annoying to make this part of the video if I was inside. So it's strictly an output device. On some devices, you can enable or disable the microphone, and that still doesn't make a difference. I have the Bluetooth speaker on the Ryobi garage door opener connected to the Echo Dot in the living room. And it works great as a speaker, but even enabling the microphone specifically doesn't do anything. So it's Alexa itself that does not use the microphone in a Bluetooth speaker. So know that up front. And this is really annoying. For example, when I'm outside here listening to music on a nice quality Bluetooth speaker, if I want to do anything, I have to walk inside, poke my head, and yell into one of the Echoes, or pull out my phone, and there's a microphone application in the Alexa app where I can talk to the phone, kind of use it as a voice remote or a touch remote. So it would be nice if this would work as an extension. Now, the one huge missing feature that almost makes it useless, and certainly will for some people, is that means you can't change the volume. And the other huge thing is the volume buttons do nothing. This is a basic feature of Bluetooth speakers. When you're playing music and you're connected to your phone or tablet, you can use these buttons here on the speaker, doesn't matter what speaker, they're all going to have these, to lower or raise the volume. Or you can use the volume on your device that you're streaming from, and it does the same thing. It couples two-way communication between your volume controls. There is no such thing on the Echoes. So you have to issue a command inside to change the volume. So if it's too loud out here, you gotta walk inside and say, Alexa, volume 3, or Alexa, turn it down, whatever. That's annoying. It should be two-way communication to just lower or raise the volume right from the speaker. There's also a big bug. If you have the device paired, and I'll show you how to do that in a second, it's through the app. If the speaker comes on, or if it's on and it comes in range, the dot that it's connected to, or whatever Amazon device you have it connected to, will automatically connect. That works beautifully. And that's really nice in my office where I have the Bluetooth receiver powered all the time. But even if I turn off my desk power, if I turn the desk back on, it automatically connects. So I don't have to issue a command to Alexa to connect to the speaker. It does it automatically as long as it sees it in range. So that's really cool. That means also I can go into the garage, touch the switch to turn on the Bluetooth speaker, and it automatically connects. So boom, that's super easy. That works great. Here's the bug. When you turn the speaker off from the speaker, the music not only doesn't stop, but it starts playing on the device. So the dot doesn't know that you want the music to stop because you've turned off the speaker. That's not how it happens on a phone or a tablet. If you're playing something and you turn off the speaker, the source stops, at least with everything I've ever had. Here's the big bug. Even if you go in and issue a command and say, Alexa, stop, it'll stop the music, and then you disconnect or turn off your speaker, it starts playing again. Every time it disconnects from the speaker, it resumes playing, even if you just stopped it. So I woke the wife up because I was out here working. It was like 11 at night. She had just gone to bed. And I was playing some music while I was working out here. And I walked in and I said, Alexa, stop. Turned off the speaker. Started to walk away, and all of a sudden, the dot starts blaring inside and wakes her up. That's just a bug. That's not supposed to happen. So let me show you how to pair the device real quick. You fire up your Alexa app, and you go to your devices. You go to the Echo that you want to pair something to. So I want to pair to the bedroom. That's the room right here at the end. And you go into Bluetooth devices. I made a mistake when I was first setting this whole thing up. I was trying to set this up as add device, because there are Bluetooth or speakers, the smart home speakers that you can add as devices. Totally different area. Did not work. You have to go into the Echo, not add this as a device. You go into the Echo and then into the Echo's Bluetooth devices, and you'll see if anything's paired in its memory, and it would show up here if it is. We're going to pair a new device, and now it's just looking for anything that's in pairing mode. I'm going to go ahead and turn the speaker on, and this goes into pairing mode automatically if there's nothing attached to it. So we should see it come up here in the list shortly. It's powered up, it's ready for connection, and now we should see it start to blink blue, and it's in pairing mode. It's looking for something that's looking for something. And tank box, that's the name of the speaker. It'll automatically connect. What this does is pairs these two into memory. Whether this is on or off, this is now stored as a paired device for that dot. So that's all it takes to pair the device. Now I can go in and issue a command and start playing music. All the audio is now piped out to this. All the Alexa responses, basically it's turned off the speaker inside at that dot. This is now the speaker for that dot. That's how it works. It doesn't move the dot out here, it just moves the speakers. Now if we want to power this off, we can, and that will, like I said, disconnect it, but if I was playing music, it's going to start playing in there. So that's it. That's basically all there is to Bluetooth speakers. Hopefully they improve it with firmware and an app update, but right now that's how it works. This speaker really does have good quality. This is only volume 5. Oh my god, let me tell you, I can't show you on video, but the Bluetooth speaker on the Ryobi garage door opener is insanely loud, twice as loud as any Bluetooth speaker I've ever heard. Not a lot of bass, but very clear. I mean, I can't use the thing over 3. The neighbors would be complaining 5 and above. I'm not kidding, it's that loud. I'm gonna go bag up all this yard debris. Let me demonstrate the bug. Alexa, stop. Stop the music, and we'll turn off the speaker. There we go. Speaker's off, disconnected, and it starts playing again. Alexa, stop. So you have to be in the room with whatever your speaker is connected to and issue 2 stop commands after you're done with the speaker. Kind of annoying. So I've got a big contest going, giving away 160 cigars to someone who guessed the closest time and date to when Cigar Obsession trips 100,000 subscribers. We've got several days, a week or 2 at the most to go. Depends on what's going to happen in the next week or so. The first week of the month is always kind of slow, but we've got, what is that, 651 to go? Almost there. All cleaned up. That looks good. It's been a little wet. I haven't mowed or edged yet. Luckily, the season's starting to slow down, and it looks like right now I can go 2 weeks between cuts. Man, for that first month we were here, 1 week was pushing it. Little baby lizard. Little baby lizard. Hi, little guy. What you doing? Hi, you're on video. But yeah, looking forward to not having to do that every week. I enjoy it, you know, it's cool, but I'm not a you know, maintenance kind of guy. I like things really nice, but it's not fun to me cutting the lawn. Results are good. So I got a plan here for the wiring. I'm gonna go over to Lowe's. I know, surprise, right? And get some bigger command strip hooks just to route this wire around the frame here, or maybe just inside. That might look a little better. Anyway, I know they work really well. I hope they work really well on this stucco. What I can do though is use 3M double-sided tape as a base, and that'll really fill in all these pretty heavy texture bits here, and then stick the command strip on the tape. Point is, I don't want to drill more holes through the masonry here just for wiring. And that's just going to come down here to a plant stand where I got my power strip, but off the ground, so I can still hose things off and not have to worry about that. And the cords naturally wrap around it. And if I want to later, you know, put a plant on here, boom, everything's going to be hidden. Power strip's important because I not only plug the lights into it, but all my gear when I do a live show. The computer power, sometimes two, the camera AC power, sometimes an audio board, you know, so it needs to be really close to the table. And that's out of the way there, plenty of room to walk through, and it'll still look really nice with just the cables wrapping around here. And then I'll do the same thing with a couple hooks here just to keep that tight against the house. And that'll be that. I do have to get some more plants soon to put up around here. I really like how these kind of frame the back of here. I think putting another one right here would be really cool. Garbage actually works really well right here. It blends in. And for parties, that's a really great spot. Maybe another plant over here. I love that spot for the barbecue. That worked out great. It keeps it completely dry and out of the wind. I no longer have to cinch the cover down. I can just set it down here. Love that. Plenty of room in here, and I can just wheel it out a little bit when I'm doing cooking, so I'm not smoking anybody out. Loving it so far. All right. I was gonna do something. Anyway, I'll go to Lowe's here in a bit. It's dinner time right now, though. We'll wrap this up. Oh, so I was going to Rain-X the outside of the big sliding doors, but that morning moisture that you saw or you may have seen on a video a couple days ago is completely gone by 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. So really no need to go through all that. Alexa, turn on the living room lights. Man, I'll tell you, I am really, really torn making a decision on this new TV. I think I'm gonna buy it pretty soon, like within a week. I definitely want the 82. The size would be, for 75, it would go right to the edges of the wall there, and the 82 would stick out about 6 inches. The 82 would go all the way up to the top of that arch. That's the size difference. I mean, that's huge. The 75, it would go up about here, almost to that cut point. The 82 would be very impressive in here and really fill in the space. So definitely doing the 82, but here's my dilemma. The marketing materials for the Samsung TVs on their own displays is wrong. The 82 is available in the Q8 series. I had completely dismissed it before because it stopped at 75 on their materials, but no, it does exist. Here's the problem. It's another $1,500 just to go from the 6 to the 8. I'm well aware of all the differences between the two. I just can't decide yet if it is going to matter to me. The biggest difference between the two that's going to matter for me is the local dimming. The 6 series and below uses what's called edge lighting. With a plasma and an OLED display, which by the way I can't afford, those are like $5,000, $6,000. Each pixel is lighting up. There is no backlight. That's why you get really good blacks right next to really good whites, because the pixels themselves are shining. You don't have an array behind the TV always shining and muddying the blacks. Well, the Q6 does have an array, and it's an edge display. So you've got white LEDs all around the TV, and that's providing the backlight. So here's where it comes into play and where the difference is between the 6 and the 8. Say you have a really dark scene in a movie. Well, pretend there's a guy in a cave, right? The guy is down here and you can see his face. So his face is bright on the screen. You can see him, and the rest of the cave is black, right? On something with edge lighting, like the 6 series, right around his face, you're gonna see a little bit of what's called bloom. It's kind of like where the blacks aren't truly black, right around him. It's you know, a little gray. You can see the light kind of spilling into the black. And the black isn't true pitch black because there is light behind it. It's just really, really, really dark gray. But still, the 6, even compared to this plasma, is better. This plasma is really good 4A plasma. It doesn't compare though to top level TVs today. And it shouldn't. This is, like a 4-year-old design. That's forever in TV technology. Luckily, I got a smoking deal on this, so it's I'll give somebody a really smoking deal when I sell it, like a couple $100. But I'm not worried about the cost of this and replacing it this soon. Who cares? It did its job. I got more than my money out of this for the years that I've had it, and that's the thing. It's going to be years before I'm really watching the top level 4K content, because I watch things local. I don't stream movies. I mean, I'll do, Netflix if there's something new on or something like that. But most of my movie watching is off my home theater server, which are ripped Blu-rays. I love the highest quality audio, and you can't get that on any streaming service, with the exception of literally a handful of movies only streamed through the new Apple 4K TV that are using Dolby Atmos, if you have an Atmos system, which I don't. All right, all my movies are ripped with the top level soundtrack direct from the Blu-ray, like DTS MA. You can't get that on any streaming service. And if you have a high-end audio system, the difference is night and day between just regular DTS, which is streamed, and DTS MA, and likewise the applicable Dolby formats as well. It is a very clear difference. So I'm a stickler for that. That's why all my movies are streamed. They're way higher bandwidth than the streaming movies. I don't have the pixelation and the artifacts, even though I'm on the top level Netflix subscription plan that gives me what they call Blu-ray quality. It's not. It's way better than their regular for an extra few bucks, but it is not true Blu-ray quality. You put a Blu-ray in, or you play one that I've ripped, and the difference even at 1080p is night and day as far as pixelation, motion blur, artifacts, banding, gradations, everything. Way, way, way better. So I watch everything local. But it's all 1080p. And whatever TV I buy in the next year or two is only going to be playing 1080p content. I might stream some 4K stuff here and there, but that's not primarily what I watch. I go to Redbox, I rip the the Blu-rays, and they're all 1080p. Redbox is supposed to be rolling out 4K disc rental soon, and if they do, I will switch. But right now, they only have one box and a test location in LA, and they have no clear plans on bringing that out to the rest of the country anytime soon. Hopefully that'll change, but I sincerely doubt it, because streaming is truly taking over. If streaming would give us a really high bandwidth option to truly match the discs, which I don't think is possible, everyone would have to have fiber connections and high rate at that, then that'd be okay. But that's my situation. The point is, the difference in features between the 6 and the 8 really only come into play with 4K HDR content, which I don't typically play. So the other big differences between the two are reflections. The screen on the 8 series has a lot better reflection control. But here's the thing, I'm watching my movies in this room. It's fairly dark. I never have direct sunlight coming into the TV. I don't play with the lights on, so that's not an issue. Yes, you can see me here in the reflection. Alexa, turn off the living room light. But with the lights off, she didn't hear me. Alexa, turn off the living room lights. Thank you. That's all I got. So that's very minimal reflection. The 8 is not going to be all that much different. This is probably closer to the 6. This is a very glossy screen. It doesn't get much worse than what you see right here. This is really bad. And looking at it in the store, it did look better. I haven't really, examined it in the store, and of course it's not this room, so it's hard to say for sure, but this is a very, very glossy screen. So anything is going to be an improvement there. The other thing is off-axis viewing, and that's where you see color shifts. Right here is where I watch from on the couch, and everything looks perfect. The further you go to the side, either way, of a TV, the worse it gets. The colors start to get less saturated, sometimes washed out, and that's the overall picture quality. But right here, sitting in one of the side chairs, is the worst mine would ever be. And this isn't that off-axis. It's when you get like here, say you're in the side of a room trying to watch a TV, where it really becomes important. This, compared to this, is almost nothing. So even though the 8 has better control of that, the 6 is still, for my use, perfectly good. I do not notice in the store moving this much any noticeable color shift. I'm sure there's a little bit there, but I can't see it. So I don't care about that. Local dimming is the only big feature that would play into my use. And that's where the 6 has the LEDs backlighting around the whole thing, and they're always on, and they're lighting the whole screen all the time, no matter what's on the screen. The 8 uses what's called local dimming. Instead of using an edge of lights, it has lights behind the screen in what are called zones, and it actually has 16 of them, so there's a grid. And if you've only got a guy's face in the corner and the rest of the screen is black, these backlights actually turn off. So you do get much better contrast. You get deeper blacks in this area because only the lights where his face are turned on. So not only are the pixels black, but it turns off the backlight. That's the difference. And you do get noticeably better contrast for that. Would I like that feature? Absolutely. There's no one that'll look at those two, comparisons and say, wow, I can't notice that. That is a noticeable feature. Absolutely. Is it worth $1,500? I just don't think so. Looking at the 6, it looks on par with this plasma, and I'm happy enough with this plasma. Yes, I can see the difference in the 8, but it's just not worth $1,500 just for that feature to me. Your use may be different. So I'm really thinking, at least right now, the 82-inch 6 series. It's about $3,000 on sale. Happy Halloween! Got new caulking down to replace the broken caulk. All I did is use my painter's tool to scrape the grout out. Broken grout, I meant. I'm gonna go to Lowe's, and not only for that hook stuff, but I want to see if they have some of these corner trim pieces that are missing. There's one missing there, there's one on here. I think they took them off and they retiled the kitchen because that one's cut a little high, that one's missing. That one I think is missing. I don't know if it needs it. There's definitely a couple there that need it because you can see that one looks good. This here, it's obvious that there was something missing there. One of those. So I just need to match the wood, kind of like a slightly red golden oak, I guess, color. We'll see. All right, let's tackle the last of the new stuff going in projects. Getting rid of this. Looks like a crappy old fluorescent in the master closet. It's not that bright. This is the LED work light I've got. This is what it actually looks like. Barely lights the room. The phone is auto exposing. It's quite dark in here. Can't really see any true colors of clothes, and it looks like crap. So out this is coming, and in going is this, which is a half size one of what went in the laundry room. Works great, simple install, lightweight, tons of light. So that'll completely redo this room. Gotta fit the ladder in here. That'll be a little snug fit. There we go, much better. 3 times the light in here. Now you can see everything. Nice and clear, daylight balanced. Like everything else around here, it took way longer than expected. I had to cut through the drywall, reroute the wire, put in anchors for the brackets. It was a completely different job than how they had that thing jerry wired in here. But yeah, it was just a piece of crap, little fluorescent. Those aren't even good for the garage. Okay, off to Lowe's. Got in just in time. They're announcing everybody get out as I was checking out. I got a couple wall plates and hooks. Didn't have time to grab the cabinet edges. Now that is a nice sight. Tomorrow I will get the LED lighting up and get this garage 100% done. See you guys tomorrow.